Welcome back, everybody, to the Frozen Forum podcast. This is season 2, episode 7. We've played 2 games in the last week, one with the Leafs, one last night against the Mammoth. And we have a lot of positive things to talk about this week. It's looking good. It's a complete 180 from where we were last week. We're feeling pretty elated on top of the world right now. But Alex, how are you feeling about the past week?
Listen, to right now it's a Friday morning. I'm
It's
not gonna
Thursday.
lie. Oh my God, it's Thursday. Thursday morning. What a day. I don't know if you can tell, Nathan. I'm feeling a little bit off. I'm so tired. These people in the NHL that start these games at 9:30 at night on a Thursday evening, and then you got a hockey game that finishes at like midnight, and you're just expected to like fall asleep right after this great win. It's like that's not gonna happen. Up to like 2 o'clock in the morning on that high, and then I wake up this morning and I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to record a podcast today. What's going on? I
I
mean,
guess
we won.
that's a good problem to have.
It's a great problem to have, to be completely honest. The only problem is that no matter what the outcome of the game is, it seems to be the case, because if we win, then I'm so elated that I stay up. And if we lose, I'm so like not
Just down
happy.
and a little pissed off, yeah.
Yeah, that but no, it was really a great reason to stay up, I think. Obviously, fantastic outcome in the game. I'm feeling great. I'm feeling even better, Nathan. I don't know about you, like 95 subscribers. We're five away.
96.
96 at 4 away, everybody. We're 4 away from the 100 subscriber giveaway. This is the OGs. This is like when we get to that 100, like you guys are here first. Peak. There's reasons you want to be part of the first 100 is all I'm going to say. Okay. We've got a great giveaway lined up for when it happens. A few weeks ago, I don't think we really thought it was going to happen this early in the season. And it's been pretty crazy to see the growth. Shout out Nathan right here for fantastic YouTube short content that he's pumping out for us. It's been
just trying to hook you viewers in and then get you subscribed, but it looks like it's working here.
Yeah.
We do appreciate all of you.
It's not been converting anything into videos, into the longer form stuff that I've been posting, but that's fine. That's fine. We're just looking for the numbers at the moment. However they come, they'll come.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay, you just gave me an idea. We can talk about it later though.
Okay. No,
do you want to get into from Flash first, or do you want to get into 3 stars?
Yo, you're so funny if you think I made 10 questions this morning.
Okay, fair enough. We'll leave it for next week.
You know, I did think about doing it last night during the game, and I had it up on my laptop, and I had like the number 1 typed out, and then that game was just like an insane game to watch. Like, I don't think there was a moment where I was like, oh, I can relax right now. I was like, I had my blood pressure was going like the whole time, and like there's some terrible calls at certain points in the game. There were some incredibly questionable things that happened, but come out with a win. I do want to know your 3 stars of the week between the 2 games.
Yeah, I mean, this one to me is purely based on points. Guys that haven't been getting the last 2 are guys that haven't been getting a whole lot of points. But the first one, I think this is pretty clear to me. Nick Suzuki, 2 goals last night, and assist the game before. He's been showing Team Canada why he deserves that spot. In case there are still any doubters, you know why he's going to be on that team. My second star, I'm going to give it to Noah Dobson. 2 goals last game. I thought he was going to get that Hattie, because it happened pretty damn early in the game too. There's over half the game left, but still puts up 2 points or 2 goals that game, and then gets an assist last night on the Demidov goal. And then my third star, I'm gonna give it to Josh Anderson, because he also got 2 goals in that game against the Leafs, which I just had a feeling it was time for Josh to be due, and I'm glad that he got those 2 goals.
No, Josh has been playing some good hockey. I mean, like last night in a 4-3 regulation win, Josh Anderson's on the ice for 18 minutes and 44 seconds. That's more than Cole Caulfield right there. He's been playing good hockey. He's been playing with a lot of intention, I think, you know? He's been going out there and doing what he wants to do. That Leafs game was great for him, I agree. I want to give out a shout out to Zach Bolduc, because he's been placed in a very difficult situation, right? In these last 2 games, he's playing on that first line, Cole Caulfield, Nick Suzuki. And historically, the only person who's ever been able to make it work on that line, actually there's 2. I forgot about one of them just now, but there's 2. The first one, the most recent one, is Juraj Slavkovsky, who has put up ridiculous numbers in terms of all of the advanced stats and stuff on that line. The other one was Tyler Toffoli, if you remember back that 2021 Cup run. But other than that, like other than those 2 line combinations, we never Like I mean, they've tried playing with everybody. Like I don't know if you remember, but before Slavkovsky was here and they put him on that line and Toffoli was gone, like they were cycling people through that line like there's no tomorrow. I think they tried every single. They tried Gallagher on that line. They tried Anderson on that line. They tried Joshua Waugh on that line at some point. You know, like it's hard. Zach Bolduc, like in his third game on the line, gets a goal, 2 assists last night.
Yeah.
The big thing is that line scored in not just on the power play. They did score in even strength on F5 on 5. They got a 5-on-5 goal, which is huge because those are very hard to generate, and generating that means that line is starting to come together. All the while, Uri Slavkovsky, Ivan Demidov, and Oliver Kapanen look like a fantastic line as well. Like it almost looks like we've got 2 lines that are like gonna be the next big things here in Montreal.
Yeah, it's looking very promising. Demidov and Kapanen are clicking so well too. It's looking good. It's looking good. Gonna knock on the table right now.
Let's try this. Actually, you know what? I'm up for a challenge. Sometimes I come up with these pretty quickly. So let's try. I'm gonna try to do a frozen form flash on the flash.
On the fly? On the fly, frozen form flash.
Yeah. But I said on the flash for a reason, right? Because it's the fly.
Yeah.
What do you think? Do you think we can do it?
I think I can answer the questions. Can you come up with 10 questions in 5 minutes?
That's always the question. Well, we'll do. I'll tell you. The viewers will hear this, but won't, see it. I might pause every once in a while, and we'll just cut those pauses later if I can't come up with a question right away.
Okay.
Sound good?
Yeah, it sounds good.
All right, the frozen form flash starts right now. You got 10 questions, approximately 30 seconds for me to come up with a question while you answer the last one I just gave you. We've got 5 questions on the Habs. We got 5 questions about the rest of the National Hockey League, which of course I've still been paying attention to. And with that, you ready, Nathan?
Go. Let's do it.
Let's get into it. My first question to you revolves around Oliver Kapanen. He's been placed on a line, essentially a second line center role, besides Ivan Demidov and Uri Slavkovsky. Now, there are a lot of people in media who have said, hey, look at how well he can play defensively. And even to the point that Marty St. Louis has come out and talked about how he can trust that Oliver Kapanen is going to do these great things defensively. I remember people saying the same things about one Nick Suzuki when he first got traded to the team. So my question to you today is Oliver Kapanen the next Nick Suzuki for the Habs?
The next Nick Suzuki? I wouldn't go that far and say that just because Nick Suzuki is also so young. But I will say he's our dark horse. Like Oliver Kapanen's in the shadow of Ivan Demidov because he was in the Calder race. And if you're not a big Habs fan, you probably don't know about Oliver Kapanen. And I bet you in like 1 to 2 years, this guy will be one of the leading scorers for our team.
I like it. I like the call out. We're going to flip for question number 2. Let's flip to some of the call-ups that we've seen in the past few weeks because we've had a lot of injuries. We had a big guy come up from the Laval Rocket. Number 63, Florian Xhekaj, has made an impression in his first 2 games with the team. What have you thought about his performance with the Habs?
Loved that first game against the Leafs. I mean, just getting into a scrap right away and then getting his first point. Like, I mean, it's just one of those good stories, like 2 brothers in the NHL, even his parents were there. So it was nice to see that. And yeah, I mean, he has been having an impact as well, clearly, in the Leafs game, getting that assist. And then last night, he only had 8 minutes of ice time, but he's getting in those dirty places, which we want him to do. So yeah, I think he's been a pretty solid addition so far.
Question number 3 for you. It revolves around our goaltenders. We've talked a lot about them this year. We now see Jakub Dobeš be given the game against Toronto and against Utah. My question to you is, do you think Marty has figured out that when a goalie wins a game, you should give him the next game as well? And do you think moving forward, the only time they're going to switch back and forth is when a goalie loses a game?
I'm going to say no to that second point. When it's a back-to-back scenario. If they have back-to-back games, you're obviously going to play the other goalie because the other one's going to be tired. But other than that, yeah, if the goalie wins, they're going to keep playing. I also would not be opposed at all if this were the point where we bring up Fowler. I think it's time and we give him a chance. We're running well right now. We give Dobeš a chance. I think if Dobeš loses a game, we let Fowler try out a game. We let Fowler in for a game instead of Montembeault. and we see what happens.
No trust in Montevo from Nathan DeCosta over here. We're going to go to question number 4. Alexandre Carrier was on the ice for a lot of goals against last night. He's a -2 on the score sheet. I want to say that there was another one, but I could be wrong. At the same time, he played 20 minutes of ice time, which is more than Lane Hudson, more than Jaden Struble. Do you, Nathan Costa, think that Alexandre Carrier should be trusted with these big minutes? Or do you think Marty was overutilizing him to protect Adam Engstrom, who was playing his first game in the NHL?
I think it's partly because of Angstrom, but also the Mammoth had a lot of power plays last night. So that's part of the reason why he was out for so much time. And then one of those goals was on the power play where he was on. So I think his numbers are a little inflated because once again, well, I don't even know if you can call it inflated because the Habs just got less power plays than the other team once again. But yeah, I think it's a combination of those two things.
Now, question number 5, the last one with the Habs. For a few minutes last night, the Montreal Canadiens were in a playoff spot. When we beat the Mammoth, the Ottawa Senators had not yet finished their game against Vegas, where they won, by the way, in a shootout. We're back now down to technically out of a wild card spot in that right on the brink. Last week, it was looking a little bit more grim. This week, we're 1 point out. Are you still holding firm that within the next 2 weeks, we will be in a playoff spot, or do you now think it's going to be faster than that 2 weeks?
No, I think it's 2 weeks. Look, we talked about this last week as well. The Habs are probably the most volatile team in the NHL. We get these 2 wins. Who knows what will happen next week, but I still do believe within the next 2 weeks, we will get in that playoff spot. We're 1 point away. If I'm being real, we'll lose a game, we'll win a game, we'll lose a game, and then we'll win 2, and then we'll be back in that playoff position.
I like it. Let's go to the rest of the league. And then my next question is going to revolve around that team that we played on Saturday, the Toronto Maple Leafs. They did not have Matthew Nyes. They did not have Austin Matthews in that lineup. Obviously, still a terrible game from them because they did not play well at all. My question, though, for you, they win last night against the Columbus Blue Jackets 2-1 in overtime, I believe it was.
Yeah, they really saved it for the last minute.
Do you believe that Matthews and Nyes coming back will lift the Leafs back up into the playoff race? Or do you think even that's not going to be enough?
Again, it is both. I think it will give them the fire that they need for the team to give them hope that they will be in the playoff race. But as a fan, I don't think they can get it done. They need more than just those 2 guys. So it'll give the team hope, but I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs this year.
I like it. I love to hear that, to be completely honest. I mean, obviously we dream sometimes of beating the Leafs. Actually, we don't dream about that. We remember it, that because it happened. But yeah, it's a lot better when they're not even in the playoffs to begin with. Your question number, I believe it's 7. This one is about a rumor that came out about Ryan O'Reilly. There's a rumor circulating that the asking price for Ryan O'Reilly from the Nashville Predators, 34-year-old Ryan O'Reilly, is a first-round pick and an tier prospect of the system. Do you think that Ryan O'Reilly is worth that price?
34 years old, so let's be real. He has 2 good years left, 2 or maybe 3. I do think he's worth that, but I don't think it's worth it for the Habs to get him. I think you leave Nick Suzuki as that old guy on the team, and hey, I know I hated on it before. We still go for Tage Thompson. But yeah, Ryan O'Reilly is worth that, but I don't think it makes sense for the Habs. And you want me to say more because you don't have your next question ready yet.
Question number 8. I had to look something up quickly. The Chicago Blackhawks have stumbled in the season into a point where they're 2 points out of a wild card spot in the West. A lot of that is attributed to young goaltender Spencer Knight, who in 16 games this season has a .920 save percentage, a 2.47 goals against. Spencer Knight is American. Should the U.S. Olympic team bring Spencer Knight as one of their 3 goaltenders to the Olympics?
Well, who are they taking right now? They're taking probably Hellebuck, but Hellebuck isn't playing that great, to be honest. And he's hurt. And
Jake Ottinger?
Ottinger, okay, yeah.
I remember who their third one is.
Well, I think for that reason alone, if we can't even remember the third goaltender, yeah, bring Spencer Knight. Bring Spencer Knight. Even when he was on the Panthers, he was never...
Bobrovsky? It'd probably be Bobrovsky, no?
Yeah, but Bob is not playing well. Look, when Spencer Knight was on the Panthers, even then, he wasn't a bad goaltender by any means. At that time, Bobrovsky was playing phenomenally, so Bobrovsky got the starting position. I think Spencer Knight has proven himself, so bring him as the third goalie. I think that makes sense for the States.
I like it. What was that? Question number 8? 2 more. Question number 9. Vegas last night loses to the Ottawa Senators. At one point in the season, we were talking about Vegas as this wow team, like this is going to be something. That conversation seems to have completely gone away. They're now 11 points behind league leading Colorado Avalanche, who, by the way, still have not lost more than one game in regulation. They're actually on a 10-game win streak right now, which is insane. Anyways, the question for you, do you still think that Vegas should be considered a favorite for this year's Stanley Cup? Or have they been completely erased from the picture with a loss to subprime or sub whatever Ottawa Senators?
Look, I don't think they're in the race anymore, but it's really easy to say also, who else is in this race? Like, it's the Avalanche. What's the point difference between the Avalanche and second place right now? Isn't it like 8 or 10 points? Because they won last night with a shutout too. It's 5? Okay. I remember the other day it was around like 8 points.
5 to Dallas.
Like, Dallas is the only maybe competitor that would give them any sort of a run for their money. But yeah, Vegas at this point in the season is not a contender, and Dallas is the only other real contender right now.
Only other real contender. With that, we'll get into question number 10. Final question of this Frozen Forum Flash. This one has to do with somebody who you are not currently giving the credit of being a contender, but maybe is making the case that they should be. The Anaheim Ducks. Pacific leading with 29 points. They win last night they lose last night, but that was a close game. I think they were winning when I looked at the score. It's fine. But they have 29 points through 23 games played. Top of the Pacific, higher than Vegas. Are the Anaheim Ducks legit at all? Or is this, even if they finish first in the Pacific this year, they're losing in the first round?
They're a legit team. I wouldn't say they'd be losing in the first round necessarily, but once you get into that second and third round, they're probably going to be gone. And that purely because they have a lot of pure goal scorers on their team. However, they also allow quite a lot of goals. So when you play teams like the Colorado Avalanche or the Dallas Stars, good luck. They have goaltenders who will stop your best players, and then when you have Nathan McKinnon and Martin Nakis and all those other guys flying at you, just peppering you with shots, you can't win games that way. So they're a competitor. They're a legit team this year, but they're not going to go against those teams with real goaltending.
There you go. That wraps up our Frozen Forum Flash. Look at that.
Yep, that was good. Good job. It was fine. We'll make it work. You can edit it.
I mean, I actually don't think it was actually that bad in terms of, I got everything out that I wanted to get out.
One additional question.
Yeah.
Recently, a player cut his finger at a team dinner and was seen
I should have.
3 nights ago out on a date with seemingly Tate McRae. So my question for you, is Tate McRae an agent for Team Canada?
Listen, everybody knows that the Canadian Constitution bans all Canadians from dating anybody American to begin with, right? This is fundamental to our identity as being Canadian. I believe that Tate McRae, of all people that are Canadian, has the highest of ethical standards. And so I find it extraordinarily unlikely that she would be violating this fundamental thing in our Constitution that says that she shouldn't be doing this. The fact that she is, I give a very high degree of credibility to this idea that she's actually been sent by Team Canada. And I would not be surprised if come the start of the Olympics, we hear a big announcement that Jack Hughes and Tate McRae have broken up. It's this big, massive thing. I mean, we already know Jack Hughes down there in New Jersey is not the toughest guy in the world, a little bit of soft-hearted person, you know. That one might send him over the edge. Good luck, Team USA, because that player ain't going to be useful to you at all.
I like it. Shout out Tate McRae. Appreciate all the help you're putting in here.
And you know, the best part of this, the actual best part from the Canadian side, right, is Jack Hughes is going to hear these rumors, right? You think he's going to question her about it? He's going to be like, these people, they're so funny. You know, like, obviously that would never happen. Like, who would do that to me, right? And then when she breaks up with him, he's going to be bamboozled. He's going to be like, what? How? It was real? How was I didn't even question it. What am I? It's over. Honestly, his whole career, I don't know how he's going to play hockey again.
She's going to break him first, and because he's been getting a little bit too greedy with his time. I don't know if you caught on to that. Those are 2 of her songs. Broke Me First and Greedy.
No, don't know any of her songs. Can't say I do. I mean, it's good for the pod. Shout out to anybody who listens to Tate McRae and got that joke and thinks that I'm really stupid for not getting it. But this is funny. For our 3 viewers who have made it to this point, hi, Mom. And, who else? Well, who's the other 3 that would have made it to this point?
Does Nick watch
Yeah.
Does Nick watch?
No, there's zero chance that any of our friends get to this part of the episode, so don't worry. Look, did you know actually as of last night or since last night, Ivan Demidov leading rookies in points. Lane Hutson's 10th in defenseman points. Nick Suzuki's tied for 8th in skater assists. It's not bad, eh?
Not bad at all. But do you still think, as of now, the Calder is all it's Schaefer's?
Yeah, I still Schaefer's. Look, I mean, the thing that's in the back of my mind, depending on where these odds go for the Calder, I might have to get myself a piece of Ivan Demidov because he is the kind of player that is capable of going on a tear and finishing the season with like 40 goals. And if he does something like that, man, that's a hard conversation to have. Like, I mean, last year, and this is the thing, right? Is like last year, the conversation was Lane Hutson versus Macklin Celebrini. And the reason that Lane Hutson wins that and wins that cleanly is because at the end of the day, what Macklin Celebrini did was great, but has been done before. Is like something that, Connor McDavid or whoever else when they came into the league did. What Lane Hutson did was unprecedented in terms of points, in terms of, assists, in terms of all this kind of stuff. I look at Demidov as being the kind of player that can make another unprecedented thing. It's just going to be extraordinarily difficult. He needs to go. He's got 18 points in 20 something games.
Look, we've played 22 games, so we're just over a quarter of the way through the season. Look, he still has a lot of time. He still has a lot of time to make a real good case for himself. So
he does. Look, and he's got 5 goals in that 22 games, right? And that's what I mean is if he finishes the season, if we consider this the quarter of the season, if he finishes the season 20 goals, is it great? Yeah. If he finishes the season with 80 points, is it great? Yeah. Right. But the way that Matthew Schaefer is playing right now, from a whole perspective, right, is unprecedented for an 18-year-old. The stats models are literally saying there has never been a player like this. The only comparison that's coming up in some of these models is Bobby Orr, right? And the only one, like not finding anybody else to compare to, right? So that's why Matt is at that level. Now, is it also possible that Matt falls off a cliff and this beginning part of the season is just, he's rested and all this kind of stuff, and the length of the season starts getting to him and all this? Yeah, obviously, right? Like that's definitely a possibility too. And Matt could open this door to Ivan Demidov, but as long as he plays like this, it is going to take something absolutely insane from Ivan Demidov to get there. And he's just not at the pace right now where it seems likely that he will,
yeah.
I mean, 18 points is great. I honestly think he's got a good chance of being a point per game player by the end of the season. We might. One of the coolest parts of this Habs team this year is I think Cole Caulfield. I think Nick Suzuki for sure is a point per game player this year. I think Cole Caulfield has a very good chance at it too. I think Ivan Demidov could easily be a third. I think Lane Hutson very easily be a fourth.
Even Noah Dobson is in that conversation too.
How many points do you have right now?
He's at 16.
16 is definitely a conversation, right? I think Dobson's like a little bit handicapped because he's not on that first power play, right?
Yeah. I mean, he's played well these last 2 games. Let's see if he can keep anything like that up. Because
I mean, Dobson's been playing all season. It's been just a question of,
I'm just looking at the Habs stats right now. So in 2 games, Florian Jacki has 1 assist, 1 point. In 20 games for Arbor Jacki, he has 1 assist for 1 point.
Arbor got sat last night. Well, see, I mean, they brought Adam Engstrom. I don't know if you watched any of or watched specifically for Engstrom's play. Engstrom's a very interesting prospect, right? 22 years old, a very good skater. Like, guy glides effort. Like, I honestly think we're looking at like some long-term projections. Adam Engstrom could very easily be in the next Mike Matheson, like for the Habs, like in terms of like what Mike Matheson is supposed to be, not necessarily what he was last year. Shout out Mike Matheson, by the way, played 26 minutes last night.
Been liking his game. He's been playing pretty damn well.
I say this, Nathan, like Mike Matheson needed to do 2 things in his game, right? 1, stop shooting at the freaking shin pads of the people standing right in front of him. And 2 is stop focusing so much on the offense and actually focus for a little bit on the defense, right? And I think he's done that. I think he's embraced this role of not being the offensive defenseman that needs to go in the power play all the time. He's only focused on being a good penalty killer and a good defender. I think his game has improved massively from last year.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He's playing defense, which is finally what we want to see. Also, it helps that I was going to say that his ice time is lower, but after last night, that argument is gone. But he was getting more rest throughout the earlier games in the season, and I think that was making a difference for him.
Well, I think the big thing though, right, is like power play time is different than penalty kill time, right? And like I just think about like when the time that you have on ice is played at less stress, right? At less like, oh, I need to do something versus, hey, what's the best thing to do, right? They're very different scenarios. On the power play, I think he was putting so much stress on himself to like make the best plays and all this kind of stuff. He's focusing so much on the offense that you just left nothing left for defense, right? It's too much of the what can I do to have this big jump offensively? How can I get past these defenders? How can I do whatever, right? And he just didn't have anything left for the rest of it, right? I look at these games that he's playing and like all of the times that he's been jumping up into plays, it's been when the opportunity is like obvious. He's not trying to create it. He's not trying to like manufacture offense. He's just accepting the opportunity that's been given to him. And it's phenomenal because from our perspective, right? It's like again, he's focused on what he's supposed to be focusing on. He's not doing I mean, it's something we've all been I mean, I'm sure you've been guilty of before, right? Is this trying to manufacture too much offense, trying to put too much of it on your own back, right? And when you take a step back from that and you trust in the rest of your team to do that, it just makes it so much easier. All of that time that it makes it so much easier to just focus on what you're trying to focus on. You know, loved, been loving his game. Been very
Yeah, I
good.
agree. It's also nice that we have two very competent, capable lines up on forward to help support him as well.
Look, Slavkovsky's looking great. We haven't seen him play with the puck in a long time because he's been sheltered on that Caulfield Suzuki line where you don't want to be the one controlling the puck if you're on that line. He's been good.
Mhm.
He's been real
I
good.
agree.
Oliver Kapanen, oh my gosh. There was a play last night that Oliver Kapanen fanned on the shot. It was in the third period and would have iced the game. And like this, okay, I was thinking about this last night actually, because you know how they have these expected goal models, right? Which will be like, oh, this expect whatever. But then some players play like way higher, like all the time on their expect, like they get way more goals than what was expected of them. I think that something that's really hard to measure for a stats person is these like whiffs per se, right? Because they happen in the NHL. That whiff of Oliver Kapanen's 100% of the time that he makes contact with the puck is in the back of the net.
Was it an empty net?
Essentially. Like it wasn't an empty net, but like the passing play that came before it, the net was wide empty, like wide open. Like from an expected for fine, I'll give you like 98% or something like that. Like the goalie maybe gets their stick. No, like the goaltender didn't know the puck had moved and the puck was in the corner, had already gone by Kapanen, right? Like I'm saying 100% of the time he makes contact with that's in the back of the net. But you can't measure that, right? Because he missed it. You can't measure the amount, like how much he's going to make that shot. His game overall, though, has been fantastic. Like, and this is why I say it. The reason I bring it up is because there's been a few moments like this where he's had a great opportunity. It hasn't really gone his way. And I think that all of the goals he's scored, all of the points he's gotten have been very fair, right? And so I think that there's like another level for Kapanen's production when, you know, he starts calming down a little bit in certain situations and those bounces start going his way.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that line, just being a younger line, they just click together very nicely as well. You got these two, a European, a Russian, and where's Kapanen from?
And
So you got two Europeans and a Russian guy. So like they
what could go
resonate
wrong?
they resonate with each other being from another side of the world. They just click together well. Look, I bet you that plays a part. It definitely does. Like if you're a European kid playing with two kids from Canada or the States, it's definitely a lot different than playing with two guys from the motherland-ish. You involving hockey right now? Or are you looking up?
I'm trying to find how effective these lines have been. All right, here's your stats. Ready? I don't think it's fair to look at Newhook, Demidov, and Kapanen because that was the line at the beginning of the season. But I don't think it's fair to look at that one because Newhook's injured, so it's not possible. Obviously, Cole Caulfield, Juraj Slavkovsky, Nick Suzuki was a great line. 63% expected goal share. Okay. But had 79% of the goals on ice, which is ridiculous, right? Okay, now compare that to Klokov, Yannick Suzuki, Zach Bolduc, who have now played 8 games in some capacity together, 46 minutes of total ice time with the 3 of them on the ice. They're responsible for 59% of the goals, but from an expected perspective, only 38% of the expected goals have been their share. So basically what that's saying is that they haven't been that great from an expected goals perspective.
But also, if you look at the last 8 games, they were much tougher opponents up until these last few.
Well, I actually don't know which games those other 8 come in because they've played the last 2 games together, but I think the other games that they've played together, it's like, oh, they've been on the ice at the same time at some point in the game. It's like they weren't actually playing on a line. They've only played 46 minutes together, not a lot of time. Now, compare that. We then go to Ivan Demidov, Slavkovsky, and Oliver Kapanen. That line, again, a 59% goal share in 33 minutes played. They've only played the last 2 games together. But their expected goal share is 49%, which means that they're actually not playing that much higher than what's expected of them, which is like a really good sign because everybody on that line is under 22 years of age.
That's unreal.
Like this is screaming Nick Suzuki, Cole Caulfield back when they first joined the team. Like you remember when Caulfield joined and like it was like, oh my gosh, this line is insane. Like this combo is insane. Like this line, it looks legit.
And when you combine those 2 lines together, they're combining for what
Well, that's the
percentage
other thing. It's the whole balance part, right? It's like,
Yeah.
you get so much balance in the lineup. I mean, look, Newhook, Demidov, and Kapanen had a 65% goal share and a 51% expected goal share. So that line was better statistically. Although, again, they played another 100 minutes. So, like, who knows what this line is going to do in the next,
Yeah.
100 minutes, 15 minutes a game approximately. So, like, 6-7 games they have until they
6,
catch
7?
up.
Just wanted to
I'm
see
cutting
you
that.
roll your eyes and do.
I'm cutting that. It's crazy.
Well, I got a question for you. This is off topic-ish. We play Friday against Vegas and Saturday against Colorado. There's going to be 2 tough games. What are we doing with the goaltender situation? Like, surely Dobish has been better, so I'd want to see him against Colorado. But then do we put Monty?
I think for sure it's Dobesh against Colorado. Dobesh beat Colorado last year. For that reason alone, you put him in. No, the thing is we'd have to fly Fowler out, right? And goaltenders are these weird creatures that like need proper schedules and stuff. So I feel like flying him out on tonight for tomorrow's game is like a little
Flights in 5 hours, and
what
it's
time?
paid for.
Don't we play at like 3:00 in the afternoon tomorrow?
Yep, we play at 4 tomorrow, and then we play at 3 on Saturday.
Right. And then we play again Monday?
Then we play again Tuesday and Wednesday. So we're going to have 4 games before the next one.
Tuesday is Ottawa, Wednesday, Winnipeg.
Yeah. And then the Habs are back in Toronto next Saturday, too.
Beautiful. We're about to have 5 wins.
We'll be back in the playoff spot again.
Vegas has lost 8 games in overtime or shootout. Sorry, by the way, there are a lot of games this season that have gone to overtime. There are a lot of games.
Yeah, at this point in NHL history, there has never been more overtime games at this point in the season. And there have never been as many 1-goal games at this point in the season.
Without looking at the standings, there are 2 teams this season who still do not have a loser point, being a point in overtime or shootout, where they lost. Which 2 teams? Can you name them?
Break. I saw one the other day. Is it Boston?
Boston is one.
And then the other is either Dallas or Edmonton?
It's neither of those 2 teams. It's actually a team we're playing in the next 5 games.
Well, it's not Vegas.
It's not Vegas. It's definitely not Colorado either.
What's Ottawa then?
Ottawa's lost 4 times. We beat them in overtime.
That's true. Yes. Winnipeg?
It is Winnipeg. 12-10-0. Might be one of the reasons they're out of a playoff spot right now. After winning the President's Trophy last year.
Yeah. Also, not having Hellebuck right now is hurting them. And him not playing well at all. He's not very. He's like the Jordan Binnington of Team USA right now.
You can't compare that. I mean, Hellebuck has been absolutely insane the last whatever number of years. Like
that's true.
Binnington had 1 season.
All I'm saying is that neither of them have been playing very well this year, and they're both going to get the starting goaltender role most likely.
It's got to be Thompson, man.
Like, yeah, it should be Thompson, but I'm telling you, it's going to be Binnington just because of his clutch factor, and they are not going to overlook that. Because when you need a guy in super intense moments, like the Stanley Cup playoffs and the finals, Binnington was that guy. And then, I've already said this to you, and then in the 4 Nations.
Logan Thompson, .912 save percentage this year.
I know
2.16 goals against.
Look, he's going to be the second goaltender, and he's going to play the second game, but I think first game is going to be Binnington. And if Binnington doesn't do well, then you bet your ass that Logan Thompson is playing every other game. That's all I got to say.
Jordan Binnington doing well against France or whatever other team is in our division is not a real performance. I refuse to accept that.
I'm talking about the final game.
The final game, it doesn't matter. Like, by then it's over. Like if you're not playing well in the final game, that means you've lost the game.
Yeah, but the point is he did play good in the final game. That's the entire... We won the game. What more can you ask for?
To be better.
Look, Binnington is getting that starting goaltender position.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
What does Polymarket say?
I don't know. Isn't that American?
No, Polymarket's illegal in the States.
It's illegal in the States?
In the States, because it's not regulated.
Well, we can check Polymarket after. What other things have happened around the NHL this past week, besides Jack Hughes getting absolutely swindled into becoming the reason Team USA loses the Olympics?
I'm actually trying to find this Polymarket thing.
Other NHL news.
Found. Give me a second. All sports. Hockey. Wow, it's not on Polymarket. What's going on?
Probably because there's not enough interest in it.
I should create a market.
You do that. Dude, the Lightning are first in the Atlantic. Lightning or not?
Team's fake, man. 5-game win streak,
And
though.
Pittsburgh. Yeah, 5-game win streak. Pittsburgh's still hanging in there.
Hey, look at that, though. Pittsburgh 3-4-3 in their last 10.
Maybe you're right. Have that hot start. Fall off a cliff. Crosby to the Habs. Maybe it was meant to be.
Realistically, the Penguins are like 2 losses in a row from being like third last in the East.
And then Colorado's just on a completely different planet.
That team's ridiculous.
What did you say the record is for the most points in the season?
The equivalent is 14.5 losses. So the way you want to look at Colorado's right now is they have 3.5 losses.
Quarter way through the season, so that puts them half a loss below. Wait, that's just insane though. To win that many games, I don't know if they can do that.
I mean, the big thing is like they still have to play us twice this year, so they're going to lose at least 2 more, right?
That's true.
And then
they need the lumberyard to continue just stacking in front of them.
I mean, the big thing with them is like Cale Makar is ridiculous. Like this kid's insane. And Nathan McKinnon's ridiculous. Like I don't care what team you are. If you have a guy like Nathan McKinnon, like 39-point Nathan McKinnon, 30-point Cale Makar. Like how do you lose games? You know?
That's insane.
Like when you have those 2 things every single night, like how do you lose games?
Then you have Wedgwood or Blackwood in net stopping damn near everything too. They get a shutout last night.
But look, the thing about both of those goaltenders is positionally they're very sound, right? So they're going to make the saves that you need them to make, that you think that they should make, right? They're never going to be doing anything that's like egregious.
Crazy.
Listen,
if anything else,
I want to say one thing and we can wrap this up, but all I want to say is where Colorado is right now, Montreal will be in 3 years. Mark it down. The strength of this roster, when Ivan Demidov is in his 4th year in the NHL, Uri Slafkovsky is in his 6th, 7th, Nick Suzuki is coming up towards the end of his contract. Like Michael Hage is up on the team.
Fowler's in net.
People don't know what's coming. Like this team is going to be ridiculous.
Okay, I have a question for you then. In 4 years, let's say within the next 5 years, are the Habs going to set the record for the most amount of points by an NHL team in a single season?
In the next 5 years, the Montreal Canadiens will set a new record. They will take back the record from the Boston Bruins or the Colorado Avalanche. If Colorado sets it this year, we're still going to break it. Everybody else in the NHL will not be prepared for the roster that we ice every night. It is going to be absolutely insane. The level of depth that we're going to have, the level of talent that we're going to have. We're going to be able to have 3 players on the first 2 lines injured, and we're still going to be winning every game. That is how deep this team is going to be. It is the most exciting time to be a Habs fan. Like right now is the most exciting time to be a Habs fan because it is all up from here.
Couldn't agree more. And then a few President's trophies here and there too for the Habs.
Look, those ones don't matter. We care a lot more about the other one.
That's true. That is very, very true. So just one President's trophy when we set the record and then just get the real trophy that week.
Look, I mean, yeah, we can win more than one President's trophy. It's just more like you're going to see an all-time historic. Like I'm actually so convinced of this. It's not like, to me, it's not even like a debate. The way that this team is being built, the way that like the depth that we're going to have, the amount of cap space we're going to have to add whatever we want to add to this roster, and believe me, Jeff Molson is spending it, right? Like this is that we will be at the cap in 4 years. We will like this is the thing though, Nathan, right? You have to think about this. For us to be at the cap in 4 years, we have to spend like $40 million on like 4 players because everybody else is signed to contracts.
I know.
Like think about the kind of talent that you have to like use that cap space fully.
We get Tage Thompson.
I don't think Connor McDavid's out of the question, to be completely honest. I mean, like Connor McDavid's got what, two years left after this one? He signed a 2-year extension.
Looks like he wants to be out of there.
No, he does.
See that here?
But I swear the talent that will be on Montreal in 4 years is going to be so insane that it is not going to be out of the question that we go pick up a Connor McDavid in free agency. Like that's because we're gonna have room. We're gonna have cap space for it.
Okay, what do you think about this then? If in some world we get Connor McDavid on this team with Nick Suzuki as our captain, what do you do?
You just win. You just win. It's like a cheat code, bro. Like it's literally like it's literally the biggest cheat code you've ever seen in your life.
Can we just have 2 captains? Like, is that a thing?
No, to
Yeah.
Connor McDavid, dear Connor McDavid. I know you wanted to give Edmonton another try. Good luck. I really hope you all of the success in the world in Edmonton. You know just as well as I know that in 2 years, your team will be decimated. Everybody will be old. Everybody will not be able to play hockey. You will have no cap space because your management doesn't know how to sign contracts properly. And you will have no draft picks because you used them all trying to patch the holes that are filled because you didn't sign the contract well in the first place. When that happens, come to Montreal. You will see. And sorry, the best part, I would like to say the best part of Toronto being where they are right now is like, sure, there's this factor of like Connor used to be from around Toronto, used to be a Leaf fan. So people will be like, oh, maybe it's hometown, whatever. The Leafs are not going to be anywhere in 2 years. Like team's gone. Good luck.
Think they're gone already.
Bottom of the standings for like the next whatever. The teams that are going to be good in the next at that time, you're looking San Jose, who's not going to be there yet. Chicago, not going to be there yet. Anaheim might be competing. Columbus, maybe if some of their pieces fall into place, but they're going to have a really difficult time attracting free agents. Like this is the time. Like the Montreal Canadiens will be the place that he wants to go. We will have the cap space to do it. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. I just convinced myself.
You heard it here. Connor McDavid to the Habs. I think that should be the title of this video. Dude, we would get so many clicks.
I'm done. Connor McDavid to the Habs.
All right, everyone, once again, thank you to all of you that have made it to this point in the episode. We appreciate all of you very, very much. And remember about that giveaway. If you have not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. It doesn't hurt. It's free. And you're entered into the giveaway. The giveaway will be happening at 100 subscribers, and you are going to want to be here for it. With that being said, make sure that you hit that like button, make sure you leave a comment, hit that bell notification so that you see when all of our videos get posted, and make sure that you follow us on Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, and I'm forgetting one. Did I say Instagram? Yes, I did. Instagram, Facebook, TikTok,
YouTube?
Twitter, and YouTube. Yeah, we post there for shorts as well. And make sure that you follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts, and make sure that you follow us and leave us a review there because it helps us grow tremendously. We appreciate all the support. We have been growing a lot faster than we were last year at this point in the seasons. Honestly, thank you guys. Thank you for making it this far. And as always, au revoir et bonne soirée.